right now.
Can we get some music for Black Music Month?
Black music
I'm
is it
just
Black
saying.
Music Month? Let's
All
see here.
June long, bro. Hey, that works. I almost sound like Pop Smoke. No, just kidding. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back, family. Good evening. And like I said, welcome back. Yes, it is. This is the Roundtable Talk Show on the Knowledge is Power podcast, live and soon to be the Knowledge is Power Network. I just want y'all to know you see it in the upper left corner, in the upper right corner. You see it. You see it. I am your host, Christopher Unk Jones. And of course, like I said, we are live and it is 9:06. Tonight we're doing something a little different. Of course, for y'all that have been with us for quite some time, of course, you know this is our what we call our potluck type of show, right? And so um, I just definitely I'm excited about entering into episode 64. And tonight, like I said, is our open table potluck. And so like we're gonna bring our dish, we're gonna speak our mind, and you know, try to uncover some things, especially our covered dish. Tonight, this table is not built around one particular subject. It's built around what everybody at this table have been carrying, not as a food dish per se, a thought, an issue, a concern, maybe even some frustration, maybe even a question, a warning, maybe. Um, who knows? You probably had a dream of a possible solution, a little something that caught your attention, and you know it wouldn't leave you alone. Somebody told me not too long ago they had that kind of issue, but everybody at this table gets to bring a covered dish. And so when that dish hits the table, we're going to uncover it, of course. We're going to smell what's really in it, right? We're going to taste it. We're going to test it. We're going to talk through it and see what kind of resolve come out of it. But um, I just definitely want you to know because too much is happening all at once. Too many headlines, too many distractions, different directions. People reaching out without thinking or reacting without thinking, and far too many issues getting, I guess, like mentioned for 5 minutes, then buried for the rest of the month or the rest of the year. So tonight, we slow the reaction down, but not the energy. We come to the table, everybody brings something, we open it up, we let the table respond, and we ask, what did this um, why did this stand out? Right? What is this really saying? What's really going on underneath? Um, what should people care about, or why should people care? Of course, um, what we are not being told clearly, right? What they don't want to say out loud, and what kind of resolve, response, or next step to come from it. Again, this is the controlled freedom of a covered dish. This is how real people used to talk around real tables. Somebody brings the dish, they taste it, the room responds, then the person who brought it bring it back home. Hopefully, the dish is empty, and if not, then ain't nobody eating your potato salad. So, um, some of this dish may be spicy for some may sound small until we realize it connects to something deeper or very filling, maybe. Some may be funny until the truth sitting under it makes everybody pause and ask the question, hey, wait, what we laughing at? Some dishes, I'm sure Dr. Campbell's, Tony's, Dustin's, and of course mine, um, will hit city budget. I know for sure mine is gonna hit political smoke, public debt. Um, redevelopment, or if you want to call it that, and a handshake agreement. Somebody thought nobody was watching. So yes, that's what we are having at a potluck. But everybody better bring something worth setting down. Um, Let me bring in my crew right fast because it's going down. Dr. Campbell, say good evening to the people.
Good evening, people.
Yes, indeed. She cuts through the noise, like I said, hear what people are really saying, and catches the part everybody tried to slide past. Big sis, tonight I definitely need that clean read because in a potluck episode like this one, somebody may bring something that's small, but it turns out to be the deepest dish on the table.
I'm just going to
Welcome
bring
to
an
the.
appetizer.
Yeah, right. I'm sure. How many people get full off of appetizers? Oh man, big sis, welcome to the table. Next up, my big brother Perry Busby. Say good evening to the people, big bro.
Good evening.
Yes, indeed. That is the voice of Barry White's little brother. No, just kidding. That
Good
is the
evening.
writer, the analyst, receipt puller, the pattern tracker, right? Perry can hear a headline that start asking who benefits, who signed it, what what date did it move, what money is attached. Like I'm telling you, this brother is a hound for it. And tonight, big bro, we need that because these dishes need some seasoning, especially from our counterparts with facts. Welcome into the table, big bro. Little bro, Dustin, man, Dustin Harris, man, that's who that is, Mr. DL Harris. Say good evening to the people, little brother.
What up, people?
Yes, indeed. Street politic and straight shooter. That's who he is today. Ground level truth teller. Dustin brings it down to how it is in the household, the work of the neighborhood, the taxpayer, the block, the BLOC though, the BLOC, not the K. And the person who may not read the whole agenda but feels the consequences. Dustin, welcome to the table. And of course, to all of our listeners and viewers on all of the platforms, and especially like the newest additions to our family on Roku and Fire Stick and everywhere else you watching us. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Tonight is definitely an exciting night for me. I'm not gonna lie. So of course ladies go first at my table, so I can't wait to smell this meal that Dr. Campbell has prepared for us on this evening. We gonna pray over it so that it may return to her sevenfold. Yeah, Dr. Campbell, uncover your
So,
dish, Queen.
so my appetizer is so everybody knows every now and then I have a little health issue or two, and I've been having some issues advocating in the healthcare in the insurance world. But now they're coming up with some whole new rules for people who are on Medicaid and Medicare. Some of the rules are going to take effect in at the end of July of this year, and some are going to be implemented at the beginning of next year. So here's the breakdown of the new rules and the debate surrounding them.
Hmm.
Okay, so the new rules, what you need to know. The big news that is starting soon is a new federal law will require adults on Medicaid to work or do other activities for 80 hours a month to keep their coverage. That's an average of like 20 hours a week, right? That's a part-time job for real to
Correct.
keep your Medicaid. So who's going to be affected? Adults aged 19 to 24, I'm sorry, 19 to 64 in 41 states that expanded Medicaid. This generally includes people on Medicare, which is for people who are 65 plus or disabled. The 80 hours, this averages out to about, like I said, 20 hours a week. You can mix paid work, job training, community service, or being or being a half-time student. The exceptions to the rule is pregnant women or people who are medically frail or disabled, and caregivers like parents with kids under 14 or those caring for a disabled relative. The objective debate says the for argument says that everybody ought to have skin in the game, right? And the thinking is that taxpayers foot the bill for Medicaid, so it's fair to ask healthy adults to contribute back to the community in exchange for free coverage. But proponents argue that it encourages self-sufficiency and pushes people towards the workforce, reducing dependency on the government.
Mm.
It shifts the program from just a safety net to a trampoline aimed at getting you back to work. But the against argument says it's a paperwork trap. So, and that's because most Medicaid recipients are already working. Studies show that among those who aren't, 60% qualify for an exemption. They're either sick or they're the caregiver.
Mm.
So, and that's 60% of them, right? And so the real risk is, watch this. This is very, very, this is how the government gets you. The danger isn't laziness, it's bureaucracy. When Arkansas tried this same thing, people lost their coverage, not because they wouldn't work, but because they didn't know that they had to log into a special website to report the work that they were doing. And opponents argue that this is really a paperwork requirement that will kick millions off of their insurance for administrative slip-ups. The bottom line, the new rule breaks Medicaid. The new rule treats Medicaid like a job benefit rather than just health insurance, which can be problematic for a whole lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
But the real fight isn't over whether people want to work, but whether the government can track the 80 hours for real a month without making a mess of the system. Make that make sense. The government makes something work without making a mess of it? Really? Yeah. Government red tape is a beast.
Man.
Yeah, so
Period. You got a taste of it. You could go taste some of that if you want. I'm still nibbling.
Okay.
it was an appetizer.
I just want to ask some real basic questions. Because, folk like to do high and sedated questions to get into the politics and the policy talk. But, Dr. Campbell said one thing. Okay, well, who's going to track it? And I'm like, yeah, that's the first thing. Where is this magic system? Not with these ass jackets that we working with. We seeing failure from top to bottom.
And
Let's
they
just
said,
be real.
you can do
Yeah,
volunteer work or real work. So how are you going to track all that?
Make it work. Yeah, this. I think we better learn how to pull back on some of this because it just doesn't make sense. And when you put foolish ideas in the hands of folk who just out for a buck and folk who don't think for themselves, we got to see the underlying issue in this. We didn't seen this administration strip the best of our institutional strength.
Yes, sir.
And it hasn't replaced it with anything. It is decaying. So yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, okay, yeah, let's make this work. I mean, but I just think it just needs to. We need to ask some further questions, especially around floating ideas for a $1.8 billion fund.
To pay back people who rebuked law enforcement.
Well, yeah. I mean, they try to also make it available to anyone who has been, harassed by the government, which means that every Negro ought to show up. I mean, and so then let's put your theory to test.
Right.
Because this is all bluster.
That part.
How am I going to listen to somebody that can't even make it to halftime without going to sleep?
Okay.
Which is the reason to go, right? Oh, man. Dustin, you going to nibble on that?
I just had to do a quick little Google myself because to me it sounds like fools voting against their best interests again. Because I looked up the average age of the people sitting in Congress, and it's 63. It's actually 63.9, so I'm being kind. And the average age of senators, the average age of senators is 63.9. The average age of congressmen and women is 57.9. And also Google that when they office, they do not keep their health insurance. So what insurance you think they could be paying on? Well, everybody just not gonna have no good coverage, because I can tell you one thing, that's probably gonna be the excuse for all these data centers. They be, we need to keep up with the hours of everybody Medicare and Medicaid. Cool. Play that game with somebody who ain't, because that's
this plan
tells about stupidity and foolishness, knowing what's gonna come by. Because Medicaid and Medicare ain't that great first place, and then you making it harder to adjust with. That's right. Cool. I don't know if you looked around this country, but there's a huge age gap. There's the older folks. There's a couple in that middle. There's a bunch of young folks. So, yeah, good luck with that.
Yep, good luck with that one.
and the plan actually implements in January of 2027. It implements fully in January of 2027, but it's going to begin in July, at the end of July.
Yeah, it's kicking in with a lot of office so they can find the people who replace them.
That's what it sounds like to me. That's what it sounds like to me. I will also, because I had to lean in when you were saying community service. That's not a work program. We're not on no work program to receive SSI. I'm sorry. You want me to do what? And just like you said, I mean, it's people that's on SSDI that's still working.
Right.
You have people that are almost invalid that's still out here trying to work.
Right.
And you'll penalize them because, like right now, you get the ticket to work, right? Under the Social Security Administration. You get ticket to work. You get so many hours that you can that you can make. And if you go over those hours, a portion of your income from Social Security is withheld.
Right.
And so knowing that groceries, utilities, and basic necessities have increased, it sounds like somebody that's in the senior bracket or that's receiving SSI. Um, yeah, y'all gonna have to find y'all another source of income or come off of the program so you can make more money.
Mm.
That's what it sounds like they want you to do, or be penalized so that they can take more money. I mean, like, make it make sense. I put into a retirement, my retirement benefits under Social Security Administration don't cover nothing besides a light bill and maybe something on your water bill. And then now you stuck because you still got mortgage, you still got, water, the water bill. And if you renting, wherever you're renting from, they just went up on your water bill, especially in these senior spaces. They just went up on your water bill because, again, the cap for seniors water bill is $100 or $150. So guess what? All of our seniors, this majority, about to be paying $150 water bill.
Mm. Mm.
So yeah, they gonna either, like I said, be selling they Zolofts, or they not selling the good stuff. I can tell you that right now. They barely giving the good stuff. So I
Mhm.
yeah, you gonna be set, man. I don't even want to express what what I feel like is gonna end up happening. We're gonna have senior population that's prostituting. Make that make sense. Go ahead, Dr.
Mm.
Campbell. Finish it. Look, I think I ate the rest of your pie.
I'm finished.
I'm sorry, Dr. Campbell. Go ahead.
It's okay. Just because most people follow a rule doesn't mean the rule won't hurt the people, you know? And that's why it really stuck in my craw when I was reading about it and I heard about it.
Hmm.
The question isn't whether work is good; it's whether you know, the paperwork is a fair way to prove it. And why do you even have to implement that? What's wrong with the plan that we have right now? Because it's benefiting Americans, which I mean, really, yeah, I'm gonna leave that right.
Man, 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 Perry. Uncover your dish, bro. And I know my sister didn't cook it, so it better smell right.
Uh, okay, yeah, we're gonna turn some pots up for a minute. Um, I think we all agree that this upcoming election holds s- some significance, right? Oh, I mean, and where do we go from here? This election holds at least some significance. I mean, or at least it has been presented that way, correct?
Correct.
Um, and so with that being said, um, what what would be the most important thing that we should prepare to guard against for in this election? Or what should
Mm.
be the one key thing that we should not, let me put it this way. What is the one key thing we shouldn't take our focus off this election?
Counties that actually exist. We should know that these counties actually exist because there are counties uh, in a lot of states that are quote unquote turning in votes, turning in their results. But when you actually look to see if that county actually exists, it does not.
Say what?
Yes, they're called vote banks. Check it out.
What you
I'm
That's the
say?
just
same
saying.
thing I said. That's the same thing I
Yeah,
said, Pierre. When
yeah,
she sent it
okay,
to me, I said, "Well, I'll be doggone."
okay. Well, I like that one. So yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
make sure the votes that are being turned in are from real people, not just something that's made up from somebody's
AI
mind. Am I
center,
right, Destin?
AI data center.
what you don't say?
Hmm.
Keep your eye open for that. That was the question, right? What should we keep our eye open for, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Okay.
We need to keep our eye
Yeah.
open
Golly.
for that voting location merry-go-round they pulling nowadays. Well, oh, you might be able to
Exactly.
vote here this time. Next time that vote place gonna be closed.
Mm. Or it's not yours. You have to
Oh,
go
you
to
gotta go to
somewhere
the other
else to
side of
get.
town.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Yeah.
seen that
Yep.
game. And
I
then
Yeah.
will.
they
I
was
will
even
say,
snatching ballots out people's hands this year.
wow. I will say during the upcoming election, one of the things we have to watch out for, or one of the many things we have to watch out for, is coercion,
Mm-hmm.
especially in the space of not going vote, period.
Mm.
There are
Mm-hmm.
individuals that are anticipating on you not participating at all in this
Mm-hmm.
upcoming election. And they
Yeah.
know that it's many of us that have been conditioned from seeing our elders and senior populations go to the poll and exercise their liberty and right to vote for whoever it is that they want. But once that individual get in there, the representation, if you will, falls away from us. It wouldn't matter if it was a black person or white person, pink person, Republican or Democrat, independent even. Uh, that's one of the things that we are seeing is even after we elect somebody, there is coercion that that elected individual have to either combat or fall for. And so coercion don't just happen right at the at the ballot booth, so to speak, or on Facebook, TikTok, and or any other platform that's encouraging you to either vote against your liberties, your rights,
Mm.
and or vote against you as a people, as a person. So that's coercion. I
Yeah.
let me hold on. Let me get my little biscuit.
Mm.
Yeah. Now I agree. And it is not easily lost that this administration paints fraud as an urban issue.
With broad strokes.
Yeah, very broad strokes. Uh Now that is not to say that suppression does not exist, because we know that in urban areas we are at the tip of the spear, as you all have all said. I mean, polling locations closing and the musical chairs, you're on 1 minute off, here's a provisional, keep going, here's a sticker. uh we've all seen it. But I would dare say it has come full circle and in the crosshairs of even our white brothers and sisters, because they understand the math,
Mm-hmm.
you know and I appreciate that. Dr. Campbell, you're right. This election we better be watching the box.
Also watch how our state leaders are voting on particular issues that really matter to you.
Right. I mean that's the accountability piece. But as Chris says, there is, and I fully agree. I mean, I you know, the orange orangutan,
Yes, that's his
you know,
name.
does not uh he doesn't always lie in his projections.
Facts.
I mean, for him to say there is fraud, there, I mean, you know, he's hijacked it to the sense that even to give some credence to it is makes you some kind of conspiracy or some other kind of other thinker. And I'm not willing to give in to the conspiracy as much as I'm just willing to say that for the past few elections, all we've been hearing is that our elections are secure. But secure does not mean accurate. It can be safe as sound. Yeah, I mean, but it does not preclude events of, I mean, and I'll give you a perfect example, and it's all around Jefferson County, Newton County in March during their elections, their polling books went down. Yes, the story is they got them back up, and yes, election was finished. Okay, then you know we got in this past runoff election in Fort Bend, Al Green and Christian Menifee. There was an accident. Someone supposedly uploaded a file by accident, caused chaos to happen, and polling places went down. But at the end of the day, hey, it was okay. You know, I'll get it even personal. I don't know if you heard, but Senator Tuberville, Senator Tuberville this past week, it has just come out. Now, if you don't know who Senator Tuberville is, he's a senator in Alabama. And Tommy Tuberville is known for Auburn football and Bo Jackson and loved by Negroes from
Ohio
the
State.
woods to the creeks, from the woods to the creeks to the springs. They all love him. But anyway, Tommy Tuberville in 2017 decided he wanted to be a governor. At the time, Senator Tuberville was residing in a $4 million mansion on the Gulf Coast of Florida. He knew he had, in order to run for senator, the rules say you only have to be a resident of the state for a month. So he bought a $300,000 shack and called that his primary residence. And so we all know how the story goes. Tuberville becomes senator. Well, now Senator Tuberville wants to become Governor Tuberville. But in order to become governor, you got to be a resident of the state for at least 7 months. I mean, 7 years.
Right.
Tuberville was sweating bullets, wasn't showing documentations on when he moved to Alabama, and then lo and behold, while we was dealing with Trump and IRS and Trump making backdoor deals, then Senator Tuberville got his IRS records in line and presented them. And it showed that Senator Tuberville had actually bought the house in 2017, and he and his wife were in Alabama. Well, wouldn't you know, folk was looking at voter history records, and in 2018, Senator Tuberville and his wife was voting in Florida.
In Florida.
He didn't cover all his bases, sounds like.
That's why I lean forward.
I give you another example. Derek Chauvin. They came out during the trial. Derek Chauvin had property in Florida.
Sir.
It showed he had a Florida voter's license.
Yes,
Y'all don't
sir.
understand. These folk are moving votes around. White property owners are using their property as collateral and bargain chips for the voting. It's up to us to watch
Correct.
it. I mean, because why they are taking votes from black and brown communities, they adding them because nobody knows how many folk are in Newton. They don't know how many folk are in what is it? Where's Kuntz? That what area is
Cut
that?
and shoot. Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah, they don't know, right? They don't know how many folk there are. So, I mean, we got to look at our own as well as those around us, because the system is only going to be good as the eyes that we put on it.
Correct.
Come on.
Absolutely correct. Dustin, uncover that dish, bro.
Well, let me pull up my notes. All right. Well, I got this topic from Brother Terry Roy, one of his Facebook posts. So I decided, that's interesting. Let's talk about it. So, the city of Beaumont has identified about $387 million in water, sewage, streets, and drainage projects that will be over the next 5 years. This includes roughly $163 million for water, $80 million for sewer, $95 million for streets, and $48 million for drainage. My question with all this planning, all this budgeting, all this money breakdown, yakety smackety, when y'all ass is gonna get started? It seems like all y'all can do is hold meetings to plan, to broad things. When are the workers gonna get their hands on the tools and get to work? And not only that, out of this $387 million worth of work, how about we keep all $387 million worth of it in the city without outsourcing? Yeah,
That's what I'm talking about.
I hope y'all learned y'all lesson from when y'all hired that company from Mexico to do the Concord. And they took y'all little check and y'all couldn't even get a hold of nobody no more. Hopefully y'all got that together. But not only this, I get it. Y'all might be like, we working on this piece here, that piece. Okay, cool. Let me focus y'all in on something. The worst parts of the city with this drainage, sewage, and all that is the north end of Beaumont. I know that has nothing to do with me because I'm in Ward 2. But fix what needs to be fixed.
And stop pushing water on them folks in the north.
That too. There should be
and that's what they're doing. That's
no reason.
I tried to tell a leader years before who tried to explain to me that he was looking out for his ward, and my thing was, who wants to buy a banana with a brown spot? If I'm in the business of selling bananas, hey, it matters to me that I not have brown spot. But when you have leaders who only saying that, hey, I'm doing the best for mine.
But here's the thing: as a city council member, once you get to the actual council as a whole, you work for the whole city. At that point, it ain't just about your ward no more. It's about your ward when someone has a problem and they need to make a phone call to get a hold of somebody. That's when it's your ward.
Exactly.
Right.
When you in that meeting and the mayor is sitting between y'all, it's about the city. Because that attorney that's sitting on the end of the row, that ain't the ward attorney. It's the city's. That city manager that's sitting on the other end of the row, that ain't the ward city manager. It's the city manager. And all them other people with, that paperwork sitting on the other ends. I ain't got time for y'all job titles, but y'all work for the city too. So it's a city issue, not just, I'm getting stuff good for my ward. Congratulations, cool. Because if the city burn, your ward going with it.
That's right.
And can I also add to this something that I saw, and since I'm not a resident, I mean, you know, I kind of have a little liberty to say this. It's high past time we get past trying to address our issues in an undercurrent racial tone, i.e., I heard a current or saw a current sitting councilman phrase these issues that are plaguing us on a past administration.
Yeah. Yeah.
While somehow being quick to forget that the current city manager was in the goddamn past administrations that you're talking about.
Boop.
Boom, boom.
So
Boom, boom.
we just gonna holler gotcha on that and move on.
Yeah.
But that doesn't help. That doesn't help you or the city advance one iota.
They love pointing that little finger across the table like it's somebody else's issue. But I'm gonna say, cool. If it's somebody issue for the past thing, all right. You've been in office for a year. What you done? It's been a year now. Y'all going on year 2 because y'all election up next year. So y'all year done passed already. Y'all are processing year 2 currently. So what have you done to push forward? Because y'all like talking about, oh, well, this was set up before I got here. Well, this was done before I took office. But what you done since you got in office? Other than sit your little hat behind you on the table.
Yeah. You can take pictures with all the what is it? The esteemed prodigious leaders you want to, but that FEMA money is running out.
What's FEMA?
And your math ain't mathing.
Oh, well, I mean, well, hold on, wait. Dr. Cat, take some of that plate. Eat some of that. Eat some of that.
Ooh, no. I'm going to say hard pass, because I'm over here bubbling, okay? For real. I'm going to say hard pass. I don't want to say something I should not say.
Right.
Because I'm bubbling right now, Perry. I promise.
Mason jar with some water and some lemon. Cool it down.
Yes, indeed. Perry, you gonna eat some of that? You gonna eat some more of that, Perry?
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying
because
it's high time.
Okay.
No, I'm just saying it's high time. I mean, we've seen that this has gotten us to where we are, and we can't, you know. What was it? Outkast said, you know, it's roses really smell like boo boo.
Boo boo. Oh, I know you like to thank your.
It don't stink.
Lean in a
but
little
roses
bit closer.
really smell like boo boo. I mean,
They
and
do. They
so
smell like
as
boo-boo.
Dustin said, we have to address that the baby's ugly.
Every time. I don't care if I see your baby every day. I'm gonna tell you that baby's ugly because you keep cuddling that thing like. Never mind. Dustin, I totally agree because the amount of money that you named off in just one section of what's planned to be allocated, right? I mean, it's a possibility that some of these things could happen if one, they didn't tell the citizens of Beaumont in maybe like 2015 up until maybe like 2017 that we were in great financial standing. You know, from let's say Harvey and Imelda to Ike and Katrina and all of those FEMA budgets that we were telling the citizens that we were balanced, that you know our city had a great fund balance, and we were, you know, we didn't have, especially under past administration, we didn't have any infrastructure problems. When here it is under that past manager's administration, the whole streets had been caved in. So I don't know what that administration was looking at, but like it was said just a minute ago, um, what are our expectations when especially the person, and no offense, the person that's the city manager currently is and was part of that same administration in the past, and not Kenneth Williams. um, we're talking about Kyle Hayes. And so, and the crazy part about it is, in the position that the now city manager was in, should have given them some insight or some realities about how many commas was being wasted. And so now we find ourselves in a position with, or a new, in a position under new management, and some of the things that new management knew and or had insight to, is now being put out into the general public. I mean, Simonize left because of financial instability. Before him, Laura left for financial instability. And so, I mean, there's a lot of things that we have to factor in, because if we remember a little while ago, Dustin, when we had Miss Cat is backstage, Dr. Campbell is backstage. If we remember a little while ago, when we had our past city manager and our city attorney on the show, they said a lot of things that were politically correct. But if we heard them, they would be saying the same thing that Dustin asking y'all now is, where's my money? Where's my money? I mean, because just like you said, Dustin, that's my plate. I'm gonna pick that off my plate. My bad. That's all right. That's my dish. I'm gonna pick that out of my dish, and I ain't gonna feed you none. That's
But my thing is, on top of what I was talking about, they keep saying, "Oh, well, we're in a deficit. We're in a deficit. Cool. We're in a deficit." And then he tried to backdoor and take another shot at the fire chief. You know, I have no problems calling a spade, and people who sitting up there in their chairs don't mean nothing to me. It's 3 members, well, really 2. The other one kind of, you know, he faded out with that. But 2 members of the council that need to stop trying to take shots at the fire chief every time they get a goddamn opportunity. You knew the overtime was a problem before he got hired. It was a problem while he's there, because apparently we ain't got enough firefighters or paramedics, even though we supposedly just had this huge celebratory hiring day. But I'm sorry, I guess I'm the only one that did research and realize it takes months for a firefighter to actually be certified to start working. What you could have did,
if they pass everything.
You could have did got a bunch of volunteer firefighters to fill in that gap until your firefighters was actually trained up, your EMTs is trained up. But we just had a whole song and dance about we hiring all these people. Well, cool. I forgot what month that was, but now it's June. So where they at? Oh, they still
February
school.
Yep.
So so why are we continuing to talk about the overtime issue when you know the overtime issue is going to be a problem until they can start working? It makes absolutely no sense to try to bring up a subject when you know the timeline to fix that subject is longer than when you decide to open your mouth again.
Mm.
But we don't want solutions. We just want to hold meetings on Tuesday to talk about problems. We just want to talk about the budget of the problems, how much the problems cost, and who else fault it is for the problems instead of finding a solution. Here's an easy fix. Find the why for everything. Drainage. Here's an easy one for you. You have a drainage problem in most parts of the city. You know why? Because the road dips down. Not only does the road dip down, you stop the city employees from cleaning drains and drainage holes out throughout the year. So when trees, trash, and all this other stuff get down there, nothing but water is pushing against it. Start getting that back done, the water will empty out a lot faster. Oh, but I forgot, y'all didn't want to pay city employees overtime.
That's it right there.
And last
That's
I
it right
checked,
there.
by looking at the city website, those same jobs that's been there months ago, all you did is took them off and then put them back on, and no one still has taken those jobs. Someone is applying for them, even if they ain't the best candidate you could possibly get. Get somebody in there.
Yeah.
Get them with one of them veteran city workers, tag on, put them under their arm, and get them to where you need them to be. But it's a progress forward. Move forward. Stop just sitting here complaining and whining about problems. Come up with a solution. Write it down, since y'all like making notes and doing slideshows. Put it on there, and then push forward to solve said problem. Not just keep bringing it up a few months down the road.
Yeah. Miss Cat, you gonna eat
That's
some
and
more?
they never solve our problems. They just switches from one person to the next person to the next person. It's a cruel shuffle.
Golly. She did like this, Dustin.
Yeah, that nepotism will get you every time, won't it?
Hey, I hear as an entrepreneur, sometimes the worst individuals to hire is family. Perry, you gonna eat some more of that? Because I'm
No,
about to.
I think Dustin, said it for himself. I mean, it does. It points to some deeper systemic problems in terms of leadership not looking for sustainability, understanding what ordinance and what parts of the charter is restraining them from making the decisions that they need to make. I mean, we get elected officials that think that they got to take pictures at the county fair with the prize hog. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what we got in terms of city government, and that's just not a Beaumont issue. I think it's an issue of what we think is structural leadership.
Man.
Or effective leadership. And I'm not pointing fingers, because it's a reflection on those who have propped up some of this ratchetness that we deal with.
What are you saying? Because majority of who we have in spaces, never mind. I heard it. Ratchetness.
Ratchetness ain't got no race to it.
I just want you to know, or dignification. You can't
Right.
graduate out of ratchetness. You
Right.
can't have a bachelor's degree out of ratchetness.
Yeah,
You could be a PhD and still be ratchet.
You can have your bows on. You can have a suit. You can have Sean John. You can have your Cowboys finest. You can have a dress on.
Jabos.
Right.
Ain't nothing changed. It is what it is. From
Correct.
that doggone red bottom to cowboy boots. Ratchetness fits all of them.
Yeah.
Taco cheese.
Yeah. You go here thinking ratchetness got a certain look. No.
Man. Man. Oh man. Anybody else gonna eat Dustin food? Because when he first opened it, I mean, they jumped on it like flies, Dustin. They ate that thing before you could even pull all the fall off. You hear me? I just want you to know I'm going to try my best to make this palatable for you all. Because what I really want to do is come, I want to hit him in the jugular, but this is around, this is the potluck. So I'm just gonna uncover it slow enough for folks to smell and see what it is before they say I'm just being hard on the city. Because I don't think I could be any harder than Dustin after that one. My covered dish tonight is, like I said, Beaumont's money. The city's budget condition, the fire and EMS agreement, of course, the increasing public safety labor costs, um, the talk of depleted fund balance, the possibility of a fiscal cliff that we're about to run off of, and it just so happens to be at Nature's Riverfront Park. So, yes, I'm going to say it. The fear that Beaumont could be walking itself forward into something that feels like municipal bankruptcy almost. And that comes from behavior, even if nobody in the building wants to call it bankruptcy. Um, so let me be careful, especially with that claim. But if I'm not mistaken, there are some discussions recently here at City Hall where they're saying, you know, um, whether the fund balance, if you will, is available. But all of a sudden, under new management, now we're hearing about spending outpacing revenue. Under new management, we are now hearing about fund balance depletion. We are now hearing about, reserve concerns. Now, we are hearing even more about, like Dustin said, deficits. Now, we're hearing about overtime. Now you finally wanted to address the overtime issue in the fire department space. And just like Perry mentioned, you've passed ordinances already that puts us in a financial bind. Mind you, this ordinance that put us in a financial bind was a informal handshake
And
and verbal agreement that we now find, just like we told them when they were exploring bringing fire and EMS together, that brings fire and EMS leverage, not citizens leverage. And now we find ourselves in that very same position to where our EMS and firefighters are merged and they have leverage over us. We're hearing about transfers. We hear about debt. Um, we hear about council. We hear council members talk about a forensic audit.
uh,
Meaning,
uh,
are you gonna put somebody in jail because you should have done a forensic audit before Kenneth Williams got here?
uh.
I'm just saying. So my question is simple: what happened? Not what slogan happened, not what press statement happened. What happened to the money? Where's my money? Because when the public goes from being told the city is fine to suddenly hearing the rainy day fund could be drawn down to the policy minimum. That's not a small shift. That's a public trust emergency, if you will. I mean, because when our first administrator was going allegedly after overtime. He was only going after overtime for a specific people and or for particular individuals. He wasn't going, reducing overtime from the entire water department. No, it was just the black and brown ones, majority the black ones, that he was cutting their overtime. It didn't happen in the fire department or police department or EMS that had many blackouts under their administration. It happened in the department that was trying to correct some of the neglected infrastructure that had gone on for years under their tenure. So, I mean, EMS have, like I said, been folded into the fire department conversation when upon agreements, and ordinance, if they're even being discussed, like Perry say, it's either we gotta cut something and it can't be the necessities. So let's cut what we were trying out, what we experimented. I mean, answer this for me too. Who made what deal? Do you understand the cost? Did we vote for it? And I'm not talking about the individuals that allegedly represent us. I'm talking about, did we vote for it? Who signed it? Who benefited? Because I guarantee you the amount of money that we're paying Kyle Hayes, y'all need to call Kenneth Williams back. And that's just that's just mine. I mean, like we have already identified who failed us. And it's not a black or a white and or a particular white person. It's several, and they wear
Well, you know what,
several
Chris,
different
though?
hues.
You know what? It does make me at least kind of question how much was really riding on a percentage of that bond getting passed.
I'm glad you said that because I was just fit to season your pot up a little bit more with the bond because I live on Doucette, a street that was identified in the bond issue, right? I also live around the corner from Carroll Street. Doucette ties into Carroll and Sycamore. Mind you, Perry, you know the ramp that you had to jump in order to get to my house. You know the ramp that you had to jump in order to leave my house. Dr. Campbell, you know the ramp that you jumped in order to get to my house. Dr. Campbell, you also know the ramp that you had to jump in order to leave my house. Dustin, if you came to service any time in the past or Yori's or Miss Ruby's down Doucette, you know you had to jump a ramp either coming in or going. And so our street repair, especially as far as like from what I'm seeing as street repair based on, I don't know, just general repair. This can't be the bond, y'all, but they removed that section out of the street to remove the ramp. And that's it. So now you can ask your question, Perry, because I just wanted you to know that bond obviously ain't going to who they said it was. Go ahead. Y'all could eat on some of that. Y'all could eat that. Y'all could eat it all if y'all want.
I just have a brief question because I like when people put dates and whatnot on stuff. So they said the rainy fund, the
Dr.
general
Campbell
fund,
said that ramp gave a whiplash, y'all.
that's the real name of it, the general fund for Beaumont. They like to talk about it like it started in 2022.
Right,
But
right.
but I always ask question, what was it beforehand? And when did it become this 50 million threshold that y'all wanted to be? Because according to my records, in 2018 it wasn't it. Somehow during the pandemic, it went from the 40,
You
which
lucky I
was
can't kick you out this room.
the general
You lucky.
fund basically being 20% of the annual operating expenditure. The general fund,
The
which
general fund.
2018 was at 41.722 million. And somehow over the pandemic, it bumped up to 50. Okay, cool. It seemed to me like most things, once the phase of the pandemic moved away, things kind of even themselves out. So it sounds like the rainy day fund is going back to what it was pre-pandemic. You know, when you actually need to use your fundage. But hey, don't let me stop you, because I really, just want to, give it a look, seeing what was that general fund, because it looked like it wasn't that great to begin with, being only 20% or less thereof. So why is it such an issue now? I'm just gonna put it out here. We went through some hellified storms, some floods, some coronaviruses, some serious issues. And from one thing I did like when Felshaw was up there at council, he said, why are we always operating out of a negative budget? Which I agreed with. At the end of the year, your budget should be evened out, which means you're going to have to do some math. Sorry if that, hurts your brain a little bit, but you're going to have to do it. So I'm sitting here looking at it, and I could bet you a bottom dollar that goddamn budget has been in a deficit, and that general fund has been doing the roller coaster since Becky was in office.
Before.
Since,
but yes, you're correct.
More was probably there.
Before, but yes, absolutely, you're correct. Let's go back to Mayor Evelyn Lloyd, if you will. Let's walk a mile in those moccasins if you want to, because that'll show you where your money been leaving and who was the author and the instructor on how to steal your money in the first place. Misappropriate your funds in the first place. Audit your misappropriated funds as if they are still there in the first place. And when the tumble come tumbling down, it just so happened to hit the other person that was in tutelage to be the next thief in chief.
I don't like beating a dead horse, but I decided for giggles, I'm gonna look up the year I graduated. 2002. Anybody want to guess what the general fund was?
Oh, Dustin, they hating.
I'm
gonna go back and watch it though, because I saw you still talking over here. But over here, they hate it. They cut me out. I couldn't.
2002.
I'm gonna go back.
2002, when I graduated from high school, the general fund was a measly $7 million. But now, all of a sudden, it just started rising and falling,
Wasn't David your no, Myers was, huh? Maury was?
Moore was when I was in middle school. I don't know if he was still there in high school.
Because when they moved David out the way, two of them came back. Evelyn came back and Maury came back, if I'm not mistaken, as intro.
But I see that Lloyd character you was talking about. His name just popped up.
Evelyn Lloyd?
I don't know what Google was listening to, but it popped up and the budget looked funny.
Like Jamie Foxx funny almost. Or let's say, David Chappelle funny, Yeah. That need rose-colored glasses so you won't throw up. Anybody else eating? Dr. Campbell, you want to eat on that?
No, thank you. Something's going on with my internet right now. I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah, I saw you bleep in and out. That's that Spectrum.
No, it's the operator. It's me.
Look, I was putting it on something else.
No, I'm gonna take it. I did. It's me.
But since we're here talking about these budgets, I would like to know Cause I remember something popped up a while back, and I didn't, it been itching the bottom of my pinky toe this whole time. When the city, I don't know, it was a year or 2 years ago, when they decided to cover all the bills for all the delinquent businesses in the city of Beaumont, all the water bills, they decided to cover that. I still ain't caught the total number of what that was, but I'm pretty sure that added to the deficit. On top of that, I've seen someone say, hey, since these plants are expanding and no one leaves in the middle of expansion, how about you make them pay taxes now?
I'm just saying.
That'll help with that deficit.
Hey, greatly. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But why would we, or why would they, when the shadow government tells them don't and give them 2 or 3 cents ahead of their bus fare, and then they don't even consider that being brought up in the executive sessions of what the abatement amounts gonna be like. So you're absolutely correct on that one. Perry, you gonna eat on some of that?
No, I'm cool.
Yep. I know this was gonna be nasty and spicy, Dustin. Go ahead, you could eat some more, Dustin. Go ahead.
Now I'm gonna make it because they're gonna have to deal with me real soon, real personal. So we're gonna be on that.
Oh, Sherman.
I got plenty of questions
Sherman.
that need to be answered.
Sherman. Yes, indeed. Sherman. I just want y'all to know, yes, I understand firefighters matter. I understand that EMS matters. I understand that police matters, infrastructure matters, street matters, safety matters, right? Drainage matters. But necessity can still be used as a cover. You can support firefighters and still question the agreement, especially the agreement of us continuing to pay them like they are somebody in like they the president of the United States. Once you gone, player. And you want me to continue to pay your retirement? Oh no, player. Ask Uncle Sam if he's still paying me BGLI. I'm sorry, SGLI. No, I'm getting BGLI. So, and that's a different enrollment. That none of that I paid into with SGLI really carried over to VGLI. I just want you to know it. So ain't no way in Putin that you want me to agree with you getting a forever check on the backs of the citizens of Beaumont. Like I said, you could support EMS and still ask whether the city handled the merger between the two as settlement, cost, or ordinance responsibility. And that, I'm gonna say it again, we heard a city manager leaving city manager, exiting city manager, and city attorney, current city attorney, tell us that deal is one of the main reasons that cities, not Beaumont in particular, but cities like Beaumont and larger than Beaumont is the reason that they are in bankruptcy status right now. And just like Dustin said at the beginning, anytime y'all got an issue with the firefighters or the fire department or the fire union, don't take it out on our fire chief. Tell the union how you feel about them. But you ain't going to tell them because they done lined your pocket and your campaign coffers with money so that you can run with their agenda. Now, like I said, you can support street improvement and still ask who benefits from redevelopment. Because not many of us here in the city of Beaumont is getting those contracts. Just like Dustin said, not many of us that are alleged capable of doing the work in the city of Beaumont is getting the work. So we will outsource everything that we even train the individual or hire the individuals for, but we won't even train them for it. Make that make sense? You can support public safety and still reject financial recklessness. That's the mature position. We don't have to be anti-worker or to be pro-tax. We don't have to be anti-abatement to be pro-tax. I'm just saying,
You
I
know,
support public
yeah,
safety. I support streets, progress. I just don't support being played. And one thing I keep saying and telling y'all often on this show and in real life is I don't like people playing in my face. And if you a child from the South, you couldn't even play on my head, let alone in my face. Go ahead, anybody.
yeah. You know, Chris, that brings, as you say, it brought up a story I heard about the late Coleman Young, the mayor of Detroit, and Coleman Young made it his stated mission, not a hidden mission, his stated mission to make a black business a millionaire each year of his administration. That he was going to find a black business and invest $1 million into that business. But they say one of the biggest deals that he did was they got ready to build Cobo Hall. And Coleman Young wanted this black business to be the general contractor. And the white corporations were upset about it. And he broke it down. He was like, listen, if he's the general contractor, unlike you guys who own your own cement, your own electrician companies, you know, you all self-contained. We get you the project. All you're gonna do is reinvest that money into
And
some of your son's businesses.
yeah,
He's like, no, we gonna give him the general contractor because he's still gonna have to come to you
to come to
for
you.
the
Yeah,
cement. He gonna have to come to
exactly.
you for that, but we gonna make sure. Again, that takes a leader who understands the economic growth, not just for black businesses, but for the city as a whole.
Exactly.
And you're right. I mean, how are you gonna build a tax base if all you are doing is giving your high paid salaries to people who live outside of the city?
Exactly.
You know, why is
Exactly.
it that you keep looking to high, you know, the hotel tax becomes one of your biggest sources of revenue? And
And
that's
that's
only
been
because of
depleted.
temporary services, right?
Right. Yep.
You know, and all you
Yep.
caught on black and all you rely on black residents for is a reunion each year, because that's what we
Hmm.
contribute to. Not talking about it, just being factual. When it comes to the tax base, us doing reunions every year is something that they can depend on. And I've got to ask, what are we getting even in return?
Right.
Hmm.
Right. Ooh-wee.
Because
All
they add
right.
even your hotel tax in.
Right.
Right. Right. Right. Right. And I mean, just like Dustin said about I'm gonna say it again. The teacher of it all, Evelyn Lloyd. I don't know if y'all were paying attention way back then, but when I started becoming interested in my city where I live, not the political side, not to run for public office, but just to be inquired or inquisitive about what was actually being spent, where was it being spent, and yeah, that's what I saw. I was like, well, these books didn't make no sense. And then when she left and some shenanigans went on and Becky and Fenice ended up running. That was the first time that Becky came from her at-large position into mayor. So let's run that back, because I said something that should have made everybody go, well, wait. Yes, Becky Ames was your at-large council before she became your mayor. And so
She
she was
was. I
tutored.
remember.
She
Because she
was
was on
tutored.
with Jethro, right?
Mm,
She was on that council with Guthrie Williams and
She was. I
Sam.
want.
What's his name? Bill Sam was up there
No,
too,
she was the
along
mayor
with
then.
Becky. Yes.
Becky
No.
was. Becky was at large when Nancy Beaulieu was on council.
Right.
When what's his name? Coconuts was on council.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay. 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 Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. When David was ward council, Becky was
Okay.
at large council.
Okay.
Yeah. That's how long they've been groomed, conditioned. And what you say was what's the word you always say, Dr. Campbell?
What?
Be trying that with our children. They be trying it with our children, indoctrinating our children.
Oh yeah.
You done indoctrinated the past leaders. So, this is the
Hmm.
situation find ourselves in.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Campbell, do me a favor. Go ahead and give us something that's gonna take us out for the rest of the week or take us through the rest of the week. Keep us in a sound space, right? Perry, you can follow Dr. Campbell after that, and then Dustin, and then I'll follow you, little brother. Dr. Campbell, you have the floor.
Okay. So I'm just gonna like pull all this together and say, we really have to have a really good balance on helping people. Okay. But at the same time, we all have to work together. So I believe so, all of it can't be solved right here, but some of it can. But we'll just have to like break it up and have different ones to do their respective jobs. But vote. It matters how you live, where you live.
Hmm.
Study your candidates and know who you're putting in office, and know how they vote on issues that matter to you. So
Absolutely.
that's my thought of the week. Vote. It matters how you live, where you live.
Absolutely. Perry, you have the floor.
I was thinking about it was in the book Black Indians. William Katz talks about how Chief Osceola, the great native Indian chief, how Chief Osceola, when he got captured, was captured with 55 of his warriors. And there is a picture that a guy took of Chief Osceola. And William Katz says it's amazing that if you looked at the picture of Chief Osceola, you'd see him surrounded by other Native Americans. When in fact, Chief Osceola, 55 warriors consisted of 55 Black Seminoles, 53 Africans. And he says, it's one of the most amazing things that when you're not looking for something, you won't see it. And so we've just got to be cognizant. I say that to say we've got to be cognizant. I mean, we've got to look for some of the things that we know to be obvious. I mean, and we can't allow ourselves to be dulled into believing, oh, it's business as usual, and looking past obvious signs.
Dustin, you got the floor.
Well, I was going to talk about one thing, but I decided now I'm going to say that for another day. I made a reel on my social media account from a comment from Minister Society. It was a powerful speech he gave in the middle when he was talking to his kid and his best friend. He told them, "This is America. You are a Black man in America. The hunt is on for you. And all he wants you to do, he don't really care what you do with your life. He just wants you to survive it. Well, if America ain't showed you nothing in these last couple of days, whether you're a black male, black female, whatever, you can be hunted and shot. You can try to defend yourself. It don't really matter. If they want you dead, you will be dead. So, as we say, this is America. This is the game they like to play. So survive it. Make your way out of it and survive. Day to day, hour to hour, whatever. People like, oh, you need to get out this survival mindset. Cool. What that got you?
Shot in the back, and your victim got off, and your assault got off, your murderer got off, the
And if
person
you
that
defend
raped you got
yourself, now you the
off,
murderer.
and then you got pedophile as a kid, and they got off. Yep.
Every
Wow.
pedophile seem to be getting parole. How that happen?
I'm just saying, make sense. For 3 months.
Tuh. And now he gone to another state with his stupid self. Yeah, I don't know if y'all seen, but he done moved himself to Nebraska. But he don't realize Nebraska don't play by Texas rules. So now he's registered as a sex offender. Anyway,
Boo, 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 boo.
Paxton tried to
That's
save
what you
you, but you
get.
left Paxton umbrella. And so now
That's what you get.
you're a sex
And it's
offender and
many
you
of
can't practice law.
them here in Texas that the the crooked attorneys general allowed to not register, but they better not have been black or brown.
Hmm.
Um, my word for the week is inspection. That's it, inspection, because everything cannot be trusted just because it's covered. I just want y'all to know everything cannot be trusted just because it's covered, and that's one of the main reasons why I did the pot. Why I like doing the potluck, because it gives us the opportunity to flex and to engage genuinely without a particular question being targeted or a particular subject being known about, right? And so I just want y'all to know you you better know what's in it, especially after I at a potluck. You better know who cooked it, let alone what's in it. Um, you better know whether it's prepared with care or thrown together to look good. Because some people know how to make things look good. There's this young lady on TikTok. She has a whole meal, but you better not eat it because it's all candle wax. I'm talking about juicy meat and all, but you better not eat it because the juicy meat and all is candle wax. Same thing with public issues. Inspect the budget, inspect the bond, inspect the agreement, inspect the ordinance. If it don't work for you, cut it off. Inspect the contract. If it doesn't benefit you, cancel it. Inspect the streets project, because I guarantee you, if I knew that they were going to only patch Doucette, better yet, now that I think about the show, we all knew that they were only going to patch Doucette. Stop
Mm.
playing. Stop playing. I mean,
I think we said
inspect
that
the
before though we
language.
watched it.
Correct. We did, Dr. Campbell. We did. When we was talking about the whole, for like almost a whole week, a whole month, we talked about the bond and told y'all none of this gonna happen in the way that they making it seem like it's gonna happen. But again, inspect, inspect people calling themselves leaders for shit show. Excuse my expression, because it's a lot of these individuals that are not leaders. That is, family. Tonight was our open table potluck, and This is why I love this format. Like I said, everybody does not have to bring the same dish. Everybody does not have to have an agreement, or everybody doesn't have to even know everything before they speak. Or, like Dr. Campbell did, she abstained. But everybody should bring something real. Tonight, we appreciate what a real table should really be like. What should happen at a real table, at your community table. We listened, we questioned, we pushed, added flavor, challenged what needed to be challenged, and brought clarity to what clarity needed to be brought to. And we didn't let the dish sit covered just because it looked polite. By the end of tonight, I hope that each and every one of you that are listening and watching understands every issue deserves more than a reaction. It deserves thought. It deserves context. It deserves receipts. It deserves um, lived experiences, even. And it deserves some kind of resolve, right? Um, for my dish, the resolve is simple. Beaumont residents need to inspect the money. For Dr. Campbell's dish, it was simple. Go vote. For Perry's, it was simple. Verify your vote. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, like, that's what we telling y'all tonight. And it was ironic because everybody had the idea of inspecting, inspect the five, inspect Doucette and Carol, inspect the bond, inspect development before it changes the neighborhood and everybody acts surprised. Inspect it. Because public trust is not built by telling people, oh, everything is fine. We're in a great financial standing. Public trust is built by showing the people truth long before the truth becomes a crisis. I just want y'all to know that. To my co-host, Dr. Campbell, Perry Busby, and Dustin, thank y'all for bringing your minds, your honesty, and your dish. I liked it. It's pretty good. It was pretty good. I enjoy these kind of episodes, y'all, for real. To our guests, if you joined us in the chats, thank you for bringing your dish. If you had anything that you wanted to bring, of course, reach out to our platform host, Tony Renfro, and catch him any Sunday at 7:30 on the Knowledge is Power podcast live. Reach out to him and let him know that you want to be on his show and or our show. And this has been episode 64, Open Table Potluck. Bring your dish, speak your mind. Until next time, bring something real. Ask better questions. Read the agenda. Follow the money and watch the streets. And don't let nobody play in your face or serve you a covered dish and tell you not to ask what's in it. I'm allergic to tomatoes, so I'm definitely going to ask. And as always, stay prayed up, stay prayed up, stay prayed up. Thank y'all for watching. God bless. Good night.